I spend a lot of time on my phone and on screens in general. Technology has made my life so much better. Like, it's hard to imagine what life would be like without, digital technology and the internet. But, recently, kind of in the past few months, after reading some books and some studies, I've started to kind of think about some of the negative effects that technology might be having on my life. And I've made a few videos about this, but I've also started to kind of just run experiments in my life with limiting technology in some way. And this video is about one of those experiments. But before I get too much into it, I'd just like to thank the sponsor of this video, Audible. So I used to use my phone as an alarm clock. And a lot of people do this. It's really convenient because you have to plug your phone in anyway, so you might as well just have it on as an alarm clock. But the problem with this, at least for me, is that every morning when I woke up and I turned off my alarm, I'd see a bunch of notifications. And those notifications would immediately draw me in, and I'd spend, the first 10, 20, 30 minutes of my day on my phone dealing with notifications and also just generally scrolling through social media. And over time, this became a habit to the point where when I woke up, my first instinct was check Instagram, check Twitter, etc. Now, I don't think that this has been bad for me, in that, I've remained generally mentally healthy and generally happy. But what I do think spending these first 20 minutes or so of my day on my phone does is it kind of sets a tone for the rest of my day, which is that if I spend the first 20 minutes of my day on my phone, I'm more likely to spend the rest of my day on my phone as well. Every time I get a little bit of free time, I'm more likely to pull out my phone. And again, I don't think that spending time on my phone is bad. I do a lot of good things on my phone. I talk to a lot of friends. I stay up to date. Like I said, I love technology, but I want to be in control of my relationship with technology. I don't want it to be a compulsive urge to check my phone. I want it to be an option that I have. Because there are other things that I want to do in my free time too. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people out there are like me. So recently what I've started doing is super easy, right? I just don't pick up my phone for half an hour after I wake up. I bought an alarm clock online for like $5, and now I just use that and I spend the start of my mornings quietly. Now, recently what I've started doing, which I really like, is to replace that time that I'd be spending on my phone with a quieter activity. Kind of realizing that that first 20 minutes of the day sets the tone for the rest of the day, and rather than setting kind of a chaotic, noisy tone, I'm setting a quieter, more relaxed one. So usually this is me reading, sometimes listening to a podcast, an audiobook, meditation. I've tried all these things in the morning and they all generally have the same effect. Now, I'm not a morning person by any means, right? Like most teenagers, I have a very hard time getting anything of value done in the morning. I'm not a 5 a.m., school routine type person. That's not me. I, try to wake up as late as possible on school days. I really struggle with 9 a.m. classes. They're by far my worst classes. It takes me a few hours to get rolling. So this is not that, right? Like, this is not focused, creative work. Your brain doesn't have to be on for this stuff. This is literally just like, hey brain, welcome to the real world again. Reading 5-10 pages in 10, 20 minutes, whatever. It's pretty relaxed, but it does set a quieter tone. So all that I do, I wake up, grab a book, read for 5-10 minutes, and then I'll go have a shower, brush my teeth, have some breakfast, and then I'll grab my phone. And then I'll check my messages. But at this point, the tone for the day has already been set. It's kind of a quiet, calm day. And at first this was uncomfortable for me, right? But I think part of what made it less uncomfortable was realizing that nobody really cares if I get back to them. Like, if someone texted me overnight, no, they won't really care if I text them, 30 minutes after I wake up. Like, they don't know that I'm awake. And it's not like anything on Instagram or Twitter is going anywhere. It's not like the news is going to change in those 30 minutes. Nothing's happening, right? It's 30 minutes from, 8 to 8:30 or 9 to 9:30 or whatever, right? Like, nothing important in the world is happening in those moments, but by exposing yourself to these messages and to these notifications, etc., it's kind of setting the tone of your day to be whatever Instagram wants it to be instead of whatever you want it to be. And so for me, most of my days I like to be kind of quiet and calm and relaxed. I don't want this chaos all the time. And so I set the tone of my day to be like that rather than to be the chaos that Instagram provides. So if you're like me, then maybe try it out. It could be good for you. It'll be uncomfortable at first, and for a while. I mean, it still is relatively uncomfortable for me, and I've been doing it for a few weeks now. But I think if you stick with it over time, you'll definitely see some benefits. So now I'd like to thank the sponsor of this video, Audible. I've been using Audible for almost a year now, and it has been great. I love listening to audiobooks, when I'm walking, when I'm commuting, when I'm traveling, or sometimes when I'm getting ready in the morning. Now, Audible has the biggest audiobook library in the world, and in my experience, all of the audiobooks that I've listened to in the almost year that I've been on the service have been incredibly well read and well recorded. They're all really high quality. Now, this past week, I just finished an amazing little novel called The Alchemist. It's widely considered one of the best, little stories about following your dreams, and it's available on Audible. So if you want to check it out, you can sign up for a 30-day free trial of Audible by going to audible.com/johnfish or texting code JOHNFISH to 500-500. What this will give you is a credit for any audiobook in their super large library, so you could listen to, for example, The Alchemist, plus 2 credits for what are called Audible Originals, which are original pieces of audio content recorded by Audible. So you get 3 free pieces of content with your 30-day free trial if you go to audible.com/johnfish or you text code JOHNFISH to 500-500. So thank you for watching this video. Feel free to let me know, what you thought about it by leaving a like or dislike, maybe a comment below. And if you enjoyed and you want to follow along and watch more videos like this, feel free to subscribe. I'm John Fish. Thanks for watching. I'll see you shortly.